to talk to you about mental toughness training. And the first thing I talk about is on the first level. And when we talk about focus, you're talking about being in the moment, like right now. You're not thinking about the point ahead of you. You're not thinking about, I'm about to win this match. You're not thinking about how will it feel to win this match. It's about being in the moment, okay? And you have to focus on that. There's no other thing going on. There's no point behind you. There's no point in front of you, okay? And when you're doing this focusing, we talk about the 3 R's. The first R is during the 25-second period you have between points, you're going to release. And that means any frustration or anxiety you have, you release. And the best way to release is to breathe. Oftentimes, players release their energy in a negative way, but what that does, it compounds your negative energy. You miss a shot, and you're all upset. But what you gotta do is you need to channel your energy. And you also have to release your energy in a positive way. So you hit a great shot, you're like, yes, come on. And then when you miss a shot, you're like, but you went for a good shot, you're like, yes, come on. It has to be the same thing. Because the biggest problem with tennis is it's a roller coaster. Some days you play great, some days you play bad. And the key is to make sure that your dips are really short and you're always an upward swing. And so when you're doing this release point and you make an error, you have to ask yourself, was it them? Because you can't control if your opponent hits a great shot. You can't control the weather. You can't control the crowd. You can't control the court. Everything's all preset for you. There's nothing you can do about the situation once you're in it. But if it's your opponent hitting a great shot, you must acknowledge that and say, okay. And in your head, you just play the percentages. Can he do that again? Secondary factor, me. Did I choose a bad shot? Because you can control your shot selection. Are you hitting percentage shots? Oftentimes, Corey, if you're like a 3-0 player, you come out to the forehand wide and you hit down the line, you hit cross court, you throw a lob, you hit a rolling cross court angle. No. What makes the better players better is that when you pull me wide on a forehand, I'm pretty much going to hit down the line. Because for me, that's my best shot. I have the best chance of making that shot. I very rarely throw a lob. I very rarely throw short angle. It's a tough shot for me to hit short angle when I pull wide. So I know what shot I can do. Don't hit shots you can't make. Remember that. Don't hit shots you can't make. So when you're on the run, think about the court, think about different situations, and try to have an idea, a pre-planned idea of what you're going to do. So you pull me wide, my shot selection is already preset. Whenever I play, my shot selection is preset. And that ensures that I'm hitting the same shots in the same situations. And that ensures, over time, I'm more consistent with you. Although I might be predictable, and this is an interesting thing, my students say I'm very predictable. They know where my shots are going to go, yet it's still hard to beat me. Because if you pull me wide and hit the ball in your backhand, and the backhand you with your shot, or you pull me to the backhand and you stretch me, I'll go slice short angle backhand. There's not much you can do with that if you have a bad backhand. And that's what my whole game is designed, where even if you know where the shot's going to go, what can you really do? And once I hit that ball down the line, I already know you'll probably hit open court shot. So I'll be running to the open court shot. I'll cover the court. I'll force you to hit the extra shot. And that's one of the biggest keys, shot selection. Secondly, in the second phase of the R, rest. And Jim Lair has something very similar, but when we release, we do positive affirmation, positive reinforcement, you do some negative releasing, and that way it doesn't build up. In the second phase of it, this is like the first 5-10 seconds. The next 10 seconds or so, you just rest. Breathe. In through your nose, out through your mouth. There is a difference. It takes longer for you to do. You get more oxygen into your body. When you breathe through your mouth, it's very uncontrolled. It can be very rapid. That'll raise your heart rate. 8 deep breaths through your nose, out your mouth, will lower your heart rate. It will relax you. And then you must evaluate, am I too calm now? because you need to be at a certain level when you play. And you have to find your level. For me, I have to be a little calm and just a tad bit angry. And for some players, they need to be angry when they play. So you gotta find your comfort zone. After you rest, you're gonna refocus. You're gonna plan. And this is generally based on score. So if you're ahead in the score, 15 love, 30 love, etc. Keep doing what you're doing. Run your basic plays. Run your basic plays. Don't change anything. I often see people up 40 love, they're like, oh, try something different. Why? Why? Just win. You know, people say I don't have a lot of variety in my game. My game's very predictable. But honestly, it works for me. And that's the secret. You have to find what works for you. If you're behind, say you're even, you could opt to run a different play. And this is another important point. We're running plays in our head. I'm going to serve wide. The court's going to open. I'll hit open court shot. On the return serve, I'm hitting the back, I'm hitting the forehand cross court, I'm hitting the backhand down the line. I have a plan of what's going to happen in the future. True, my opponent might change the parameters, but I have a basic one-shot plan of what I'm going to do with that shot and the secondary shot thereafter. Okay? If you're even, you can change the play or basically run what you're comfortable with. I say run your bread and butter plays. So you run your bread and butter. You run what you do best. If you're behind, what you need to do is you need to change it up. If you lost 3 points in a row, you're in trouble. Take a break. Towel off. Break momentum. Breathe. 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 Okay? If you're behind, if you win 3 points in a row, you don't stall. You just keep playing. You win 3 points, go for 4. You win 4 points, go for 5. Don't stall. Don't towel. Don't break the rhythm. Let your opponent stall. Let your opponent break the rhythm. And when they're breaking the rhythm, you just breathe. I got this. I'm in control. What are you going to do to change it? Because I'm doing what I do best. I'm running my pyramid. I'm ahead. I've won 4 points in a row. I'm going to do what I always do. You need to change your game to affect me. Okay? When you're behind, be more aggressive. You need what we call a pressure point. Chip and charge comes in that. Serve and volley. You need to shorten the point. You need to do something nice or spectacular to get the momentum back on your side. Okay? So you're telling me you're having trouble playing your matches. And so what might be happening is you have to ask yourself what the conditions are. What is your preparation? And we need to look at it. 3 days. Three days before. 1 day. 2 hours. 3 days before a match, you shouldn't be drinking any alcohol. You should be sleeping. You can eat a big meal, you can eat heavy stuff, but you can't do really crazy things. 1 day before a match, you can't eat big meals. You can't have like a prime rib. You can't have like a heavy protein meal. It'll weigh you down, it'll be in your tummy. You'll feel slower. 1 day before, you have to hydrate. The most important thing is light meals and water. Two hours before the match. 2 hours before the match, you're just focusing on the match. You're not arguing with your girlfriend. You're not talking about anything serious. You're not wasting emotional energy. You're not playing some hardcore video game where you're wasting emotional energy. You save your emotional energy. You eat a light meal. Oatmeal, banana, turkey, chicken, light, something really light. Okay? And then when you get to your match, what do you do during your match? What are you drinking? Are you hydrated? Dehydration will cause a 40% decrease in your athletic performance. Ask yourself, are you hydrated in your match? I drink a half cup of water, like a small cup, like 2 ounces. They say a sip is like 1 ounce. Like if you just put water in your mouth, that's 1 ounce. Your mouth full should be like 2 or 3 ounces, okay? But I do like a half cup of water, 2 ounces, some Gatorade, and a sip of Diet Coke. And the reason for that is I need the caffeine without the sugar. Sugar weighs me down, like I start to cramp, I feel weird. Diet Coke, real light, goes right through my body. I drink a lot of Diet Coke, so that's not a factor. Gatorade, I've been drinking Sponsor in Thailand, but Gatorade works for me. Powerade does not work for me. Gatorade, the water stuff doesn't work for me, you know. And then I take a half cup of water. So these 3 things help maintain my attacking mode. I've done the banana thing, but I only like take a small bite of banana because it's really heavy. It makes my stomach feel like I have weights in it, okay? And so make sure you're doing this during your match too, because you hydrate, you towel off, you sit, you chill out in that 1.5 minutes you have between games, okay? And then what you gotta do, you gotta track how you're feeling. How are you feeling? Are you up? Are you down? Are you into this match? Are you thinking about the match? When I play really well, it's just the ball. It's only the ball. Like I'm playing, and I'm in a tunnel, and it's the ball and me, and I'm just hitting the ball. It's the court, the ball, and me. That's it. When I'm playing okay, it's the court, the ball, and me. It's the people outside. It's the wind. It's the birds. Okay. When I'm playing bad, the court feels like it's about this big, and everything bothers me. Everything is going wrong against me. I hear the wind blow, man. You know, the sun's in my eye. I mean, it's just terrible. And so you have to track your emotional thing. Because once you start to slide, it'll just slide. It's just the way it is. You know? Okay? You really want to see what's going on in a match? Shoot video. And watch it. Like, I've watched myself play 1,000,000 times now, and it really helps me. Because sometimes you think you're playing really bad. Like, oh my God, I'm playing terrible today. And you go to video, and it's really not that bad. It's amazing. I will watch myself play a video and it looks exactly the same. So my good days and my bad days are almost exactly the same. You know, and it helps you to track what you're doing in shots. You can chart your match. That's simple. Are you making more errors on your forehand, your backhand, your volley? What's your first serve percentage? You know, what's your return percentage like? What serve is giving you a hard time? Kick serve, slice wide. You know, and these two, this adds statistics to what's happening in your matches, right? I honestly think the biggest problem, Corey, is that you're playing in matches where you're supposed to win all the time. And people are watching you and they expect you to win, you know? And yeah, it's cool to tell people I'm a 3-0, I'm a 2-5, I'm a 4-0, I'm a 3-5. But if you're playing down, you know you're playing down, it creates pressure. And the other thing too is honestly, when you play junk guys, you play junk. You know, people often ask me, when I moved up from 3-5, I started 4-0. I stayed 4-0 1 year, and I went to 4-5. I was like 24, and I was already 4-5, and they're like, why are you moving up so quickly? And I said honestly, I honestly think if I don't make it to 5-0 by the time I'm 30, it's going to be really hard for me to do that. And I have a lot of friends that have played at the lower levels, and they've been there all their lives. But the problem is their game falls into that trap. You're in a rut. You don't have to improve, so you don't. You don't even have to practice, so you don't. So you go out, and after a while, you're 3-0, or you're a 3-5, and you be there because the people you play, you don't have that higher expectation. Even when I practice, it's important for me to seek out better competition because they force me to go for different shots. I have to hit the volley harder. I have to hit the serve better. I have to hit the second serve harder. I have to return faster or harder. You know, and if I don't do that, I get complacent. And you also have to play tournaments, which is really hard to do in Hawaii. It's hard in Thailand too. But the tournaments challenges you to play different people in a different situation. It's really easy to play my friend on a Thursday night. It's really hard to play someone you don't know on a Saturday at a tournament. Okay? So to improve yourself, think about the things I talked to you about. Trim down your shot selection. Go and see what's really going on. Look at your routine for matches. One last tip. When I serve or return serve, I have like a ritual. On my return serve, I will relax until I go into motion. Once I go into motion, I'll do a little split step in. But before that, I'm thinking, I'm going to hit my forehand here, and I'm going to hit my backhand here. And I split step in. And if you watch me return, it's always the same. You always see me. I'll be ready for the shot. I'll tap the court with my racket, and then I'll split in and go to my motion, go to my return. Same thing when I serve. I line up, bounce the ball about 3 times, think about what I'm gonna do, then I go through my motion. It's always the same, and that's one of the biggest keys.